Today's story is shaking up both politics and entertainment. You've probably heard of John Fetterman, the Democratic senator from Pennsylvania. He's known for speaking out on justice, equality, and fair treatment. But here's the surprise. Fetterman is now caught in a lawsuit that's bringing big political drama to daytime TV.
Of the J6 people too, though, right? That's what they're going to say on the other side. That is weaponized.
I'm not referring to that. I'm talking about the New York trial, and now the Democrats on our side there were some that were gleeful, calling it like now he's a convicted felon and those things, and now for our party we were talking about criminal justice, and we are now talking about second chances, and now all of a sudden now you're like, well, he's a convicted felon and all these things. And now clearly, again, both of those trials, the Hunter Biden one and the trial in New York for Trump, that was politically motivated, and those kinds of charges would have never been brought unless one side could realize that they could weaponize that.
Yes, you heard that right. Senator John Fetterman is suing The View host Sunny Hostin and the show's producers. This isn't just another celebrity feud or a wild rumor. It's a full-blown legal battle that's taking over the headlines. So what really went down, and why is it such a big deal? Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the drama and why it matters to all of us. John Fetterman isn't just any politician, he's a fighter. As Pennsylvania's senator, he's made a name for himself by standing up for people, challenging the system, and never backing down. Whether it's fighting for underrepresented communities or calling out injustices, Fetterman has built a reputation for speaking his mind, and that includes taking on the media when he believes they've crossed the line. When Fetterman appeared on The View, most people expected a normal political discussion, maybe some debates, maybe some jokes. After all, the show is known for heated conversations, and the hosts, especially Sunny Hostin, aren't afraid to be bold and controversial. But no one expected what happened next. During the live broadcast, Sunny Hostin said something that Fetterman simply couldn't ignore. While the exact words haven't been made public yet, likely because of the legal process, they were serious enough for the senator to take immediate legal action. This isn't just about one offhand comment, it's about something much bigger: the power of media, accountability, and what happens when someone crosses the line on national television.
Mean that the 34-count case in which Donald Trump was found guilty of various financial crimes was politically motivated here in New York?
I found that when the judicial system gets weaponized and targeted political enemies for political gain, I think that's inappropriate, and I think that degrades our collective trust in this a very important institution, whether that's on a Democratic going after a Republican or a Republican going after a Democratic one. And I like to think I call it strikes and balls, because the judicial system has to remain impartial. I mean, that's really the cornerstone of our system.
And Fetterman? He's not backing down. He's taking on one of the biggest daytime talk shows in the country, proving once again that he's not afraid to fight for what he believes is right, no matter who's on the other side. With a high-profile lawsuit unfolding, all eyes are now on The View, Sunny Hostin, and John Fetterman. Will the show fight back? Will the truth come out? One thing's for sure, this legal showdown is just getting started. Here's where things take a shocking turn. The View, a show famous for bold debates and strong opinions, has never been afraid of controversy. Over the years, it has faced plenty of backlash for its heated discussions. But this lawsuit, this is on a whole different level. It's not just about ratings or public outrage. This is about legal accountability and the fine line between free speech and defamation. For Sunny Hostin, this could be a career-defining moment. Known for her sharp tongue and fearless takes, she now finds herself in the middle of a lawsuit that could change everything. Not just for her, but for the entire world of daytime television.
If they had a placebo group and they had a vaccine group because they wanted for military readiness to see if the flu shot was prophylactic against coronavirus. What they found is actually the people who got the flu shot were 36% more likely to get coronavirus. And that's not a lone study. We found 6 other major studies that say the same thing. If you get the flu shot, you're more likely to get coronavirus. Look, all you have to do, Alan, and this is what Cochrane said, is look what's happened to longevity in the elderly since we started mandating the flu shot to elderly people. those are the people who their life expectancy has dramatically gone down as the flu shot proliferated. And if you see, the people who died during the COVID crisis.
And let's not forget the producers of The View. They aren't just on the sidelines, they're a major part of this legal storm. If Fetterman's claims hold up, the way the show handled this situation could face intense scrutiny. This raises serious questions. How responsible are media producers for keeping discussions fair and respectful? But why should this matter to all of us? Because this isn't just about John Fetterman or Sunny Hostin. This is about the bigger issue of media accountability, the power balance between public figures and the influence of platforms like The View on public opinion. The stakes? Higher than ever. The stakes have never been higher. Stories like this remind us why integrity, transparency, and responsibility matter, values that are often preached but rarely upheld. As this legal battle unfolds, one thing is certain: it will keep making headlines. Whether you support Fetterman, watch The View religiously, or just love the drama of politics and pop culture colliding, this is one story you won't want to miss. Fetterman believes the producers of The View should have been more careful and responsible. For him, this lawsuit isn't just about his reputation, it's about holding the media accountable. When reckless or harmful comments go unchecked, they can cause serious damage. He argues that airing those remarks wasn't just a mistake, it was a failure on the producer's part. To Fetterman, this case is about more than just himself, it's about setting a precedent. He wants media outlets to understand the weight of their words and the real-world consequences they can have, especially in an age where misinformation spreads like wildfire. Now, let's turn to Sunny Hostin. She's never been afraid to speak her mind. In fact, her bold and unfiltered opinions are what made her a star on The View. But this time, did she go too far? The key question in this lawsuit is, was her comment just an opinion, or did it cross the line into defamation? This isn't just a simple argument. It's a legal battle that could change how public figures use their platforms. Should TV hosts and media personalities be allowed to say anything without consequences? Or should they be held accountable for the impact of their words? Fetterman's lawsuit is bigger than just The View. It's about media accountability in the digital age, an era where one reckless statement can go viral in seconds and change someone's life forever. Fetterman's lawsuit isn't just about a single moment on The View, it's a challenge to the entire industry to rethink its role in shaping public perception. When opinions are based on false or harmful information, the damage can be profound. At the core of this legal battle lies a delicate balancing act between two fundamental values: free speech and defamation protections. Free speech is a pillar of democracy that allows debates, dissent, and diverse opinions to thrive. Without it, progress and public discourse would suffer. On the other hand, defamation protections safeguard individuals against false or malicious statements that can destroy reputations and livelihoods. In today's media-driven world, a single comment can spiral into widespread misinformation, leaving lasting consequences. Fetterman's case puts this issue under the microscope, forcing us to reconsider the responsibility that comes with instant viral communication. When words are broadcast to millions, they carry real weight. Public figures, journalists, and media outlets shape the narrative. But should they be allowed to do so without consequence? So, where do you stand? Did The View cross the line, or is Fetterman overreacting? Is this about protecting his reputation, or is it a larger fight for media accountability? This isn't just about one lawsuit. It's about the ethics of journalism, the power of the media, and the boundaries of free speech in the digital age. One thing is for certain: Fetterman's lawsuit isn't just a personal battle between him and The View's hosts. It's part of a much bigger conversation about the responsibility of media outlets and the immense power they hold in shaping public opinion.
Former D.C. police officer Michael Fanone, who was nearly killed during the insurrection, has been speaking out publicly against the pardoning of his attackers. Officer Fanone publicly endorsed you in 2022, but this is what he said last week. We have a clip.
It's not the fact that he's the president that pisses me off. It's the fact that all these people that said that they were, going to stand behind us and that they were going to stand, shoulder to shoulder with us, absolutely ran for the hills.
Yeah.
There's a lot of John Fettermans out there in the world.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's why we're in the predicament that we're in.
Now, there are those on the left who feel like you have made a rightward shift recently, going to Mar-a-Lago, joining Truth Social, your positions on issues like immigration, fracking. What do you say to those who are now, in a sense, questioning your commitment to the Democratic Party?
Oh, well, first, I wanted to just say I am so sorry for what happened to that officer. I mean, he's had a heart attack. His life, he almost died. I mean, I've had a stroke. Same thing. Absolute empathy and just appalled for what I witnessing what happened on January 6th. And I absolutely would reject pardoning people that were involved on that. And so right word, that's just happened not to be true. I've been on record too saying I am not going to become a Republican. Although maybe some people might be happy on one side, but I would make a pretty terrible Republican because, pro-choice, really strong immigration, pro-LGBTQ, just pretty I don't think I'd be a good fit. So I'm not going to change my party. And if I am going to I'm going to show up. I'll give you the exclusive. I can announce. So I can't keep chasing down every last thing that's online because they're just happen not to be true, and just look at my votes.
The media's influence goes far beyond a single broadcast or viral clip. It can alter the trajectory of a person's career, damage public trust, and even sway elections. As this case unfolds, legal experts are already weighing in, predicting that it could have far-reaching effects on how media outlets cover public figures in the future. This could be a landmark case that sets new standards for accountability in media coverage, and the rest of us will be watching closely. Will Fetterman's charges hold up in court, or is this just another fleeting controversy that will eventually fade into the background? The question of whether public figures can hold media platforms accountable for their words is a debate that won't be settled overnight. Right now, we're witnessing a real-time collision of politics, media, and the law.
It's undeniable that the case against Hunter Biden was really politically motivated, but I also think it's true that the trial in New York for Trump that was political as well too. Now it's that, and in both cases, I think a pardon is appropriate, and I really think collectively, America's confidence in these kinds of institutions have been damaged by these kinds of cases. And we cannot allow these kinds of institutions to be weaponized against our political opponents. I'm talking about the New York trial, and now the Democrats on our side there were some that were gleeful calling it, now he's a convicted felon.
She jumps in and says, well, what about January 6th? And he says, I'm not talking about January 6th.
Yeah. I mean, to many of the nominees, I thought that's been part of the ongoing dialogue, that I've been happy to meet with all of them. And I think I've met with virtually all of them. And I've been watching, the hearings, and now that's an ongoing dialogue. So nothing really.
Whatever the outcome, it will have lasting implications for how we navigate public discourse moving forward. So, where do you stand? Do you think Fetterman is justified in taking legal action, or is this much ado about nothing? Whether you're drawn to the political drama, the ethical questions surrounding the media, or just love a good legal showdown, this case is bound to keep us talking. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more sharp insights and unapologetic truth-telling.